Hey everyone, I am Beth Miller. I am the founder of Soulify Wellness. I am a marriage coach and I am the creator of Hypno-Journeying. So I just want to thank you for joining me today. All right, I have a ton of questions that I am going to answer today. A lot were pre-submitted. I've met with a few of you already, so thank you for those that have popped in. And I'm actually going to recap your questions here today. So, all right, first things first, I've had some questions just about the Hypno-Journey process. And how it really works, it's a deep meditation, but it takes us a little bit deeper. It takes you into what's a theta brainwave state. So how it works is you and I right now, this is beta, you and I are chit-chatting, thinking, planning, talking very logically. But what happens is there's another state. It's called alpha. Alpha is very like meditative, very present. Sometimes that trance state when you're watching TV and you're just like immersed in it. And then there's theta. Theta is just before delta, which is dream. So we have beta, you and I thinking. We have alpha, very present, trance-like. We have theta, which I'll talk about in a moment, and then delta, which is sleep, deep dream. And so this theta brainwave state, what it does is it really marries the two together of alpha and delta. So consciously, you're aware. Like someone could walk into the room while you're doing this Hypno-Journey and theta brainwave state, and you're like, okay, we're having chicken for dinner, and then you kind of go right back into it if your kids popped in. So you're fully awake, you can snap yourself out of it at any point. And the delta just means we're accessing that subconscious mind. So it's easy to get those images. Like it's like we have a filing cabinet in the back of our brain, and that filing cabinet, we're able to pull memories out, and we can do that much easier in that delta brainwave state. So theta takes a little bit of that present conscious state and some of that delta, able to access memories and puts it together. And so it's this deep meditative state, and it's this combination of psychology. So what are you feeling? What emotions are coming up? What beliefs are you holding? So that's the psychological piece. And it marries it with neuroscience. And neuroscience is our brains are phenomenal. The plasticity of the brain, it can change so easily. We're not stuck in a certain ability to learn or certain thought systems. We can change our brain, creating new neural pathways. And so what we're really doing here is we're creating new neural pathways. The thoughts that you've had for so long, they travel on a neural pathway and they release what's called a neurotransmitter. So they release all these chemicals, and we all know about cortisol. So you have a thought of my future. What am I going to do? What if my marriage doesn't work out? All of a sudden you go into panic, you feel fearful. Your body's just been flooded with that emotion. Your emotions are yours. You've created them within your body. Yes, something's triggered you, but that trigger then activated what's often a memory. And that memory then creates a belief. And that belief is, I'm not safe. I'm not okay. So the memory could be, oh, my husband potentially cheated on me, or he said the word divorce, or I'm not happy in my marriage. So that kind of memory then created the belief of, what about my future? Am I going to be okay? Am I going to have enough money? What if I don't have enough money? And that's creating all those thoughts, which travel down the neural pathways, which then release this neurotransmitter in your body, which then creates an emotion. That neurotransmitter is like, whew, I'm flooded with anger. I'm flooded with resentment, embarrassment, shame, grief. And then from there, it doesn't end at that. You have this emotion. Now what do? You have an action of some sort of behavior, whether you shut down, whether you get aggressive and say something you wish you hadn't, whether you then just go to sleep to cope, whether you do something else. And that something else can be very positive. It really could. It could be like take a bath, go for a walk, do a hypno journey to release it. And so what happens so often, if it isn't a great behavior, it keeps us stuck. And then we're in this conditioned loop. And so women that have been suffering for a long time are conditioned. That thought just fires, the neurotransmitter fires the emotion. We then take an action. The action could be shutting down or it could be yelling, and then we loop it right back and over. 60,000 thoughts a day, and a lot of them are the exact same. Most of them are not even aware of. So these old beliefs, these old emotions, that's what we're doing with the Hypno-Journey process. So let me get started. For those that have entered the portal, you may have gone through some of this content already. If not, that was just a little kind of intro. So some of the questions I have are, how often should I do a hypno journey? Well, my suggestion is doing it at least 3 times per week. And you want to pick it based on the trigger that you're experiencing. So the triggered emotion, I should say. So if you're feeling a lot of fear, do the fear hypno journey. If you're feeling like you can't trust your husband or just trust that you're going to be okay, like it's trusting ourselves too. I don't know if I can even trust my intuition. That's a trust hypno journey. So depending on how you're being triggered, like if you're really stuck in emotions, you can be doing the rut stuck hypno journey. If it's a boundary issue, if you're like, you know what, I'm crossing my own boundaries by people pleasing or overgiving or not taking time for myself, or if I'm letting others cross my boundaries, do the boundary hypno journey. You can also do like the guilt shame hypno journey if you're holding some guilt for past things you've done or even in your current marriage. So you're going to do your hypno journey based on the emotion that you're feeling. So how often? 3 times a week. If you want, you can do it every single day. those that do it the most get the results the fastest. That's like, the more you do this, you're changing your brain, you're reinforcing, you're releasing, and you're reinforcing those new neural pathways and these positive things. Because what you do is, in a hypno journey, you take through, just say you're feeling, let's see, what is it going to be? We're going to say you're just really stuck in anger. You're really angry at your partner. You're stuck in resentment, and you've been in that pattern for a long time. So you're going to do the rut stuck hypno journey to really release that resentment, that anger. And as you go through it, you actually may cry. You may feel the anger leave your body. It's gone. It's emptying out your body. And then what happens is we start to put in what you need to have. So thoughts that are for you. I speak up for myself. I am confident. Other people's actions don't dictate my worth. I am like enough. I'm not a failure. I'm not a fool. I'm not settling. Like whatever the messaging is that you need, it comes to you usually during that journey. And so then we want to do is we want to reinforce those new thoughts. So if at any point you start to feel angry and resentful again, like the next day or something, you're like, you know what, I need to figure out if I need to kind of take the anger resentment from a different angle. And maybe I'll do the trigger hypno journey this time because it was resentment that was triggered. And so we're just peeling back the layers of anger and resentment. And the more you do that, the more you're changing your brain. You're releasing anything you've stored. We're like an onion, layers and layers and layers of anger and resentment as an example. But I don't want you to feel overwhelmed by that onion. You're like, how am I going to do all this work? Well, you take it one trigger at a time. And when you do a hypno journey, you're not always just working on like one memory, one thing. You're often working on multiple things. So it's like not just one thing sheds, you often release multiple things at the same time. You might be releasing some like shame from like your marriage, but also some shame from teenage years or some adolescence. Like it's interesting how multiple memories may be worked on when you're doing one hypno journey. So how often? 3 times a week. The more you do, the better it's going to go. Someone asked, can I do it twice a day? Absolutely. You can do it in the morning before you go to bed. You can definitely do that if you have the time. Another question here. How should I do my hypno journey? I had one lady that came in a moment ago and she's like, I just always fall asleep. I keep falling asleep while I'm doing a hypno journey. And so a couple options. Check your positioning. Are you doing it in bed where you're like slightly leaned back? Are you doing it in a chair? Is it too comfortable? Too many pillows, too many blankets? Because if you're really cozy, you'll probably fall asleep. Another part of it is too, are you just so exhausted that maybe you do need to use that time to sleep? Because I know it can be frustrating. You give yourself like half an hour to do a hypno journey and you fall asleep, but maybe your body needed it. And it still works. It still definitely works. You feel you feel relaxed at the end. But the thing is, ultimately, we want to consciously have some awareness of what shifted. It still works. But if you have the awareness of what shifted and now you feel like, you know what, I am enough. I am not a failure. I am safe. I am okay. I am heard. Like whatever the belief is that comes from the end, when you have that full awareness of what shifted, it's easier to implement. If not, it still worked. Like there's still stuff that's looping in your mind that's starting to release reasons why you didn't feel like enough. Okay, so don't do it too like in a cozy spot if you're falling asleep. Maybe you did need the rest, so just give your body that option. Some women do it on the floor with nothing supporting them, so you're a little bit uncomfortable. Like on a cushion, you can still have a blanket around you, but no back support. Some women have done it in the bath if it feels safe. You can do it there. It's very relaxing. It's warm. Other women have done it while walking. And while walking, you want to do it not on the traffic, like a street with traffic. You want to do it on a path, and your eyes are slightly open. And when you're doing this like meditative walk, your eyes are slightly open. You have that awareness, but you're not engaging with people. You're not necessarily smiling or saying hi. But if you do, just hi, like say hi. But you want to focus on something, usually nature. So while you're doing it, you're listening, you're kind of looking up, kind of just observing the trees, being really present, kind of that alpha state with your eyes, but then internally, you're really kind of trying to get more into that theta state. So you can do like a walking meditation with it. What else? Let's see here. So it's not a bad thing. Yeah, it's, you know what? It's, if you're falling asleep, definitely just check your positioning. If you're really tired, maybe change the time of day. Maybe you're doing it more in the morning and not at night or vice versa. That's always an option. All right, next one. All right, you don't feel like it's working. You go into it and you're like, you know what, nothing's coming through. So what's really important with this is you have to do those journaling prompts. You want to do some journaling before to really loosen up that subconscious mind to be like, okay, it's kind of like a warm up. You go for a jog, you want to like just do a little bit of like a little bit of cardio to get your muscles loose, do a little bit of stretching to make sure everything's warmed up. It's kind of like that. The journaling is like, if we were to do the jealousy hypno journey, some of the prompts might be like, when have you felt jealous in the past? And so you might write down like, oh, I felt jealous when my best friend got 90% and I only got 80%. Or I felt jealous when my boyfriend dumped me in high school and he started dating someone right away. Or I felt jealous that one of my best friends now has this beautiful house, this amazing marriage. And here I am like struggling in my job and my marriage feels like it's failing. So you do that little warm up, thinking of some times when you felt this way. And you may actually be doing the jealousy hypno journey because of something totally different than those prompts, but it's just loosening up your mind. And you could go into that hypno journey with the intent of working on feeling jealous of one of your best friends that has this beautiful house, great marriage, but you end up working on something from your childhood. So it's really interesting how the warm up may not actually be what happens in the hypno journey. So warming up is really important to loosen up the subconscious mind. So that will help if you feel like nothing else is coming up. Some women do a brain dump, like just if your mind's full of like grocery lists, I need to pay for this field trip, I need to do this at work, just brain dumping everything that you have to on a piece of paper before. Or some women will actually keep that piece of paper really close by. And so if you're in it and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I forgot to grab eggs at the store, then you just write down eggs. So your journal's close by, you have a pen nearby, and you just write eggs, like really big on the piece of paper, like your eyes are still pretty much closed. And so any kind of random thoughts that are popping in, just jot it down on a piece of paper. Other times women will talk to the thoughts. Thank you, thought, for reminding me that I need to put the load of laundry into the dryer. I will get to you later. And so you just parent the thought. You're like, thank you, I'll get to you later. And sometimes that's good for the brain to be like, okay, I'm heard, I'm good, or jotting it on paper, dryer. So those will really help as well, keeping the journal beside you. If you're really struggling, then I would listen to the hypno journey with your eyes fully open with a journal. And it's like riding a bike. We want to just get used to it and practice it. And if imagery is not coming through, that's perfectly fine. Some women, when they do it, they're more like feelers. They can just sense it in their body. Like they can sense where they felt jealous in the past, but they're not really seeing the image. They just like a memory will pop up, but they're not seeing it. And that's perfectly fine too. What really matters is those neurotransmitters I've been talking about, the feeling. So if you start to feel a little bit of that jealousy, just thinking back to a time where you felt jealous, you might feel that neurotransmitter releasing that neurotransmitter in your body. So you feel the emotion in your body. And then by the end, you want to feel that jealousy is gone. That neurotransmitter is no longer flooded in every single cell, that you're having more of a joyful feelings. We're talking some more like kind of serotonin, like more comforting feeling in your body. Okay, so next question. This is a good one. I feel really good after that hypnojourney. Like I just feel so calm, clear, light. I feel really good. And it lasts for about an hour or so. But then when I start interacting with kids and work and my husband, I start to lose it. And so think about it like this: 24 hours a day. You have 24 hours in a day. You do your hypno journey for about half an hour. That leaves another 23 and a half. You're sleeping for, say, 8. So we're up to like, say, 15-ish hours in a day. So those 15 hours a day, we need to keep in that brainwave state that we had at the end. It takes practice. So keeping note of your triggers throughout the day, like what is triggering you so that you're popping out of that. And then we just want to keep reinforcing more hypno journeys, so you'll be able to stay in that feeling longer and longer. Plus, there's other tools we can use, like hypno journey is one, but do that brain dumping, journal stuff, go do some exercise, go for a walk. That also helps release it. We're releasing it like kind of emotionally while we're doing the hypno journey, but you can also release stuff while you're exercising, while you're talking it out. But the hypno journey ultimately will let you take it deeper, but we have to use some other tools in there too. All right, next question. Let me see. Oh, I'm so stressed out about a lot of things. And so again, do some of that brain dumping before a hypno journey, but do the stress relief hypno journey. It's an amazing one. The stress relief hypno journey, the intense emotions, if you're feeling really angry, just sit in the intense emotions. It has you sit in the emotion of anger. You just have to sit there. Ooh, and it feels like it's bubbling and boiling in your body. But if you sit in it long enough, it's not going to kill you. It'll just all of a sudden like pop. And it just like, oh, it deflates like a balloon. So that's a really good one if you're feeling super stressed. All right. Also, it's good for just calming your nervous system. Like when your nervous system is firing, we can't think, like we feel like our cup's overflowing. So the stress relief, intense emotions just brings our nervous system back to like, I can breathe again. Okay, in terms of next stuff here. Oh yeah, when you're doing this work, it's really important to connect with your true self. Like we know that you're right here. You're feeling like angry or resentful, jealous, mad, sad, exhausted, feeling out of control. Like you don't know what your future is going to be, to here. So we know where you are. We know where you want to go. Like you want to feel amazing. You want to feel like your new normal. And so it's really important that you know where you want to go. So figuring that out, like who is your true self? Who is your higher self? Who is that authentic you? And so often I hear women create a list of words that would describe it. And often they're from feelings, they're characteristics, feelings. And that's how we describe the true you. I hear words like, I feel really free. I feel confident. I feel calm. I feel just collected, empowered, in control. I feel joyful. I feel peace. I feel wonderful. I feel happy. I feel light, very present. Those are all words that we want to describe our true self. And we manifest from a feeling. Like if we want something in our lives, whatever the vibration is of that job that we want or that better communication style, we need to be that vibration. So that's why it's so important that we do these hypno journeys to like clear out the clutter, the emotions, the trauma, the memories. We just have to kind of neutralize them and just clear out some of the stuff we don't want to hold anymore, because we hold a lot of our emotions in our tissues, which is why people have like really stiff backs, or you feel like a lot of chest pain, or like the chest pain, like again, go get your doctor to check this out. But a lot of times there's a heaviness on your chest, and it could be the stress, right? In your stomach, we get like a sinking feeling in your stomach. Sometimes our throat feels really constricted. So we hold stress in our body. But again, disclaimer, go check with your doctor just to make sure it is kind of stress related. And so we hold it in our body. So we want to make sure we're doing these hypno journeys to really clear it out of our body. And then when we can do that, we can really become our true self. We can get to that higher frequency vibration. And like attracts like. Law of attraction. If we are that vibration, you're having a good day, you're going to notice all the good things coming your way. The right people, the right things come to you at the right times. We don't need to push or pull. It's just we have to surrender and just trust that, you know what, I trust that I will be taken care of. And so that's why we want to clear this stuff out, so we have that higher vibration where we are that true, present, happy, joyful self. All right. Another thing that we really want to do is focus on what are the negative beliefs that are plaguing us? Like what are the things that are really keeping us stuck? So I'm going to go through a few of those right now. I'm just going to pull this up right here. Let me see here. Okay, I'm going to run a few off the list, but these are the things that we really want to start to shift. Like we don't want to feel not enough. So we want to feel the opposite. I am enough. So here's some examples. Like if you're feeling like you can't trust anyone, we want to do a hypno journey. I can't protect myself. I'm not safe. It's not safe to show my emotions. I'm being punished. It's not okay to feel my emotions. I'm helpless, I'm powerless, I'm not in control, I can't get what I want, I can't stand up for myself, I'm not lucky, I can't be trusted. I also can't trust myself. I'm a failure, I will fail, I put other people's needs before my own, I have to be perfect, I can't handle it, I'm out of control. Things are never as they seem, I never get my way, I must follow the rules, I'm invisible, I need to fix problems. I've done something wrong, I am wrong, I should know better, I should have I should leave. I blame myself. I'm too much. I don't deserve love. I'm a bad person. I'm incompetent, worthless, shameless, not lovable. Only bad things happen to me. I'm permanently damaged. I'm unattractive, ugly. I do not deserve. I'm not smart enough. I'm insignificant. I'm unimportant. I'm a disappointment. I deserve to die. I'm miserable. I don't belong. I'm different. I'm weak. I'm too old. I've wasted my time. Time is running out. I'm not heard. I'm not seen. I'm a puppet. I'm just like my parents. I'm crazy. My pain is normal. I'm bad at making decisions. I'm a fool. No one can help me. No one wants me. I can't keep friends. I'm not happy. I'm closed-minded. I settled. I'm not healthy enough. I'm negative. I'm selfish. I'm not as good as I used to be. Like those are all beliefs that humans hold within their body. And we want to shift all of those. Those keep you stuck. Those drive conversations. Those drive your behaviors. And so that's why hypno-journeying is so important. Because number one, it clears you out. And then what happens is wonderful things happen when we can release all these beliefs, these emotions, because those beliefs are driving your thoughts about yourself. And those thoughts are then creating your emotions, which then create all our behaviors, actions, what we say, what we don't say. And so important that we clear these out. And that's why hypno-journeying is so powerful in changing marriages, changing relationships, helping you get different careers and jobs, but really it changes relationships. Because in a relationship, so often our partner is mirroring to us exactly what these beliefs are. They do things which then activate within us, I am not enough. So our partners are our greatest teachers, because the conflict that we have with them often mirrors to us what we need to work on within ourselves. We don't want our marriages to be like that. But it's somehow a gift. We don't like the wrapping paper. We don't like the conflict. We don't like the bad things that are happening within our marriage, the struggles. But that is somewhat a gift for you to be like, okay, I'm going to look inside myself. And this is the stuff I want to shift. I don't want to feel this anymore. This is being activated within me. The belief of I'm crazy, I'm settling, I'm a fool, I'm not enough, I'm a disappointment. That stuff is coming up, and we have to get that out of you so it stops driving those emotions and those behaviors. All right, that's a summary of Hypno-Journeying and some questions that have come through. Send me an email, send me a DM if you have any other questions about Hypno-Journeying and how it can most benefit you. All right, thanks everyone, and we will chat soon. Bye.